Homegrown Radio Live.
Homegrown.
Of course, we are Homegrown Radio back to its roots, man. Chuck Dizzle, DJ Head, Miss Bliss up in here.
We're finally a family.
The whole couldn't be on a better day, man. Dude, we got in the studio today, man. As you already seen, man, Damian Ritter is in the house with us right now. First and foremost, we appreciate you coming on by. And just to give people a little pre-story, we interviewed Hop some months back. Got a lot of controversy. Exactly, yes. Hopsin, talking about the whole split of Funk Volume. His obviously the controversial song Illmind Hopsin #8, where he was attacking you, pretty much going in, man. And we had jokes. It was a great interview, nonetheless. We asked some tough questions. The people in the comments were going crazy.
I was an asshole.
He was an asshole. You was gonna be on his head. But more importantly, after it dropped, you slid me a conversation, man. You just like, yo, kind of broke some things down. I felt like we should have a conversation on air, but just you being a real dude. Kind of like, yo, that's not my thing. We'll talk when the time is right, and now the time is right. So I appreciate you coming on down and just pretty much getting your side of the story, man. Because now this months past, people know the whole situation with Funk Volume is no more, and I know there's some legal things going on, but at this point, what needs to be said? Because we interviewed Dizzy as well, and one of the tweets that you put out, you said, yo, this is closer to the real story, but there's still some things missing. So at this point, man, what do the people need to know?
What do they need? I don't think the people need to know anything. And to be honest, man, I don't know, because I'm not really trying to prove anything. I mean, I can't win a social media war with Hopsin.
Absolutely. And let me say one more thing, too. After everything went down, you did have the live stream, which I felt was big on you because you don't have to prove anything. But at the same time, when your name is getting thrown in the mud, you got to speak up for yourself. Right. I feel like that was a great way for you to speak up for yourself and really answer questions to those people, like you were saying, that you're in a battle with social media-wise. You're not going to win that war with Hopsin, but you took it straight on, head up, and answered questions, tough questions. And I felt like after that, to be perfectly honest, I was like, there's no need for you to say anything. You said everything clear, cut, blank right there, but obviously still time goes on. So with that being said, what do you feel like needs to be put out
because
there?
the situation was, it just could have been handled totally differently. It didn't even have to be public. And everything happened so fast. It was literally one conversation after the tour ended, probably about 6 or 7 email exchanges, a conversation with the whole team in which I think Hopsin and Dizzy had talked about, and it was over. No face-to-face conversation. I haven't seen Hop face-to-face since last November.
Crazy.
So it all happened so quick, and it just didn't have to be that way. Right. So I think there's a combination of some miscommunication or things that Hopsin didn't understand, but then I also think he saw an opportunity because he was in an uncomfortable space. Because last year we didn't really meet our expectations as a whole.
Okay.
And I think he saw an opportunity to take something and run with it, put a lot of extras on it, and it was unfortunate because he threw the team or me specifically under the bus and walked away from something that was awesome, and I thought was only like a year away from doing something like really
major,
great.
Yeah.
If we just were a little bit more patient and worked a little harder, we were planting the seeds for something just special to happen. Right. I mean, we already did something cool and we were successful, but a lot of people still didn't know about Funk Volume. Right. A lot of people still don't know about Hopsin, don't know about Dizzy. But like I said, we were planting the seeds to really do something special. And I think that, a lot more people would have known who we are. We would have accomplished a lot of our goals if we would have just stuck in there. But, it didn't happen that way.
Now, do you think that there was something underlying, like, that you and Hopsin had an issue prior to this? You said you didn't meet your expectations or goals in 2015, but prior to that, was this an ongoing issue that possibly built up?
No, Hop and I never had arguments. Like he was always, if he was uncomfortable about something, he don't communicate.
Gotcha.
He don't communicate. A lot of times, if he's going through something, I'll find out on social media just like everybody else.
Gotcha.
So if he was uncomfortable with some of the things that I was doing, which I found out later,
right.
you know, in the emails, but you know, take something like Funk Volume Fitness, for example.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Funk Volume Fitness was a fitness initiative that I started very small, like not that many people knew about it. I mean, I think the Facebook page had like 10,000 fans, where you have like his page is like 3 million fans.
Right.
It was just kind of something that we use our influence to try to get people to live healthier. And he called that out in the song and in the emails before the song came out. But when I started Funk Volume Fitness, he didn't have no objection to it, you know. So of course I'm going to go to him as a co-founder of the label and say, look, can I use the name to put? Because if he would have told me from the jump, like, nah, Dame, I think that's kind of whack. I think you should just keep that as your own thing,
right.
You know, do it. And I would have been like, cool. And then because I invested my own money into the website. We was doing monthly boot camps here in Studio City, getting people out, just getting active. So I was investing my own money into it. And then later on, it comes out, oh, I think that's corny, you know. But it's like, you could have told me that before I put the...
Right. So you didn't know before that?
Nah, yeah. I wouldn't have done it. I mean,
right.
I'm not going to disrespect... I mean, he owns half the label. I'm not going to put something... I'm not going to put the name on something that he doesn't agree with.
Right.
You know, I was also doing community service once a month. We've been doing that for 5 years. So if things like that... because I think he thought that some of these extra things made the label seem a little soft or corny or whatever. In my mind, I thought it rounded out the label and made it seem official. And it grew the label in my sense of the brand.
Because you got an audience that's outside of music or anything that would now know about, you know
right. And it could have, and doing that stuff, had he supported, because he never supported that stuff. It's not like he came to a community service event. He didn't come to any of the... So I knew that he didn't personally like, but I didn't know that he didn't
want
that
big of a deal.
Yeah,
like
I didn't know. I had no idea. And like I said, we never had any arguments.
So prior to this, no issues that you can think of, like, okay, I know dude just doesn't speak up for himself, but okay, he's gonna go to social media. I gotta hit him up to kind of figure out what the situation is. Like, there was no other situations prior to that to make you think like, okay, you know what, he may not say something to me face to face, but maybe I have to kind of dig a little deeper to see what's wrong. Not just this issue, but prior to this, maybe it's dropping music or anything like that.
Yeah, so I knew he was that way. So if there was an issue, I would try to, you know, I'm always trying to figure things out. So I'm gonna go to you as a man and just ask you like, what's the problem? But it's crazy because so after the tour, when we had the conversation that really kind of ignited this whole thing, which we were talking about the tour and the tour profits, and he was upset at what I was suggesting that I make, right? And then that email exchange went quickly to like him suggesting lawyers get involved. And I'm like, yo, we've been running this label for like how you. So the first time we have like an issue, you gonna get lawyers? I thought he was just playing. I thought it was just gonna ride it out. He was gonna get upset. It was cool. Calmer heads will prevail, and we would just have a civil conversation. But like he went. So it let me know that I was dealing with something that was pent up because he went straight to lawyers as soon. I'm like, lawyers.
But isn't that like character like? It seemed like he liked that. Like, don't he just lose his shit and like?
Yeah, I mean
I'm just saying as a track record has that been common practice from Hopsin, like to where
not internally
to like, fly off the handle.
No, we've never had like a potentially like label ending discussion.
No, I'm just talking about any kind of dispute, any kind of disagreement. Is it normal for him to exaggerate or blow things out of proportion or anything?
Oh yeah, that's normal. But
that's why I say
like
it seems like that's the case, but not go.
But
everywhere.
not with me, like behind the scene, like internally. Like if he's gonna fake, quit rap, like he'll be like, "Damn, I'm about to fake," and I won't like that stuff, but he'll let me know. Like that's
at least
he knows how to blow things out of proportion on social media. Like he's an expert at that.
Right.
But I knew a lot of things were pent up. And he was frustrated by a lot just by the dialogue we was having and the words he was using.
What I wanted to elaborate on is when he said that you called him lazy.
Oh yeah.
What exactly did you mean? Like, because I think that's part of the reason why he got pissed off too.
Oh, that's
like,
it. That's
it. Yeah.
That's the that's like the biggest
breaker.
thing,
right?
You know, Hop has a huge ego, and it don't really manifest itself in like I'm the best, I'm this. It manifests itself in like I'm not gonna work on something that's not my idea, stuff like that. But when I told him that, this was the same conversation after the tour, which we were discussing the tour profits, making sure everybody was cool with what they were making, and he didn't understand why I suggested I make what I'm making. And in that conversation, I was like, "Hot man, you don't even work that hard." So it wasn't even a conversation about him. It was like a matter of fact comment,
right.
You know. And I've never went to him and be like, "Look, you got to work harder," because that wasn't ever really. I mean, it was an issue, but that wasn't the main issue. That wasn't the main issue of that conversation. So when I said it, he reacted that way. I was kind of caught off guard, like because he started cussing, and then he eventually just hung up the phone.
And that was the last time you actually spoke to him?
No. That was the first. So that was the first time, and then the email exchanges, and then we all got on the phone,
one more time.
and then I reiterated it.
Gotcha.
But what I mean when I say that, like just for example, there was probably, his album came out last year, Pound Syndrome, and we had, interviews lined up and stuff like that. So he misses we had 2 days in New York to do the promo. He missed his flight. I'm pretty sure it was on purpose. So we missed a whole day of promo. So we also have a bunch of videos that never came out because he just refused to finish them. And these videos are not cheap. Like there's like tens of thousands of dollars backed up in videos.
When you say he refused to finish them, he's not editing himself, or he's not okay.
He wants to because
he's hands on with everything.
Right.
I know he pretty much explained.
He wants to do everything himself because he wants the credit for it.
Got you.
So
it's not. I put work into this. I want to be involved with everything. That probably has something to do with it, but it's at the same time you want credit for everything as well.
Right. I mean, so when you showing up late to things, walking off set live, doing his Revolt performance, not being prepared when you got to do ciphers, not being prepared in interviews, just saying random things in interviews. He had a meet and greet where he showed up late just because he didn't want to be there. That's the type of stuff. It's like when you sign up to promote your album, like we got to go hard.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that you don't work hard on your music, because that part he does do. Like he'll spend a whole week on one song, So when he locks in on the art, on the videos and stuff like that,
the stuff he wants to do.
Yeah, he'll lock in, but the other stuff, it just doesn't happen, and he totally discredits it. And I don't think he definitely didn't believe in the Warner situation, so maybe he just wasn't motivated because he felt like he had done this stuff before. But he missed a lot of things last year on the promo side of things, and that's why I'm like, yo, you gotta do these things.
Hard. But one of the things that he said was because there were multiple dates that he was doing, and they weren't getting paid for that. So in his mind, the only way I can think of it is, if I'm not getting paid for this shit, and I know we got to swing a dates, right. We got to go hard. But if I see, and again, I'm playing myself as him, if I see you're getting more money off of this than I'm getting more money off of this, why would I want to put that effort into it?
So let me explain why he tried to convince Dizzy and Jaren that they weren't getting paid for meet and greets. So let me explain the meet and greet situation. So when I do the budgeting for a tour, right, we have the money that comes in from the shows, and we have money that comes in separately from meet and greets because we sell those separately on our website, right? When I do the budgeting, like for Jaren, I treat that income as the same. And this is something that I'll do differently going forward, but it's just a miscommunication. So if I'm looking at the money that the expected revenue that we have coming in, I could say, Jaren, okay, let's just make up numbers. These aren't actual numbers. Okay, Jaren, we can pay you $1,000 per night. I could have easily said, $800 is for the performance, and $200 is for the meet and greet. Right. And that's what I should have done. So that's the error. That's my error.
Exactly what it is.
Yeah.
But when I explain that to Jaren and Dizzy, and I show them the spreadsheet, they're like, okay, I get it. I can show that same thing to Hopsin, and I don't know if he just doesn't understand or doesn't want to understand because it plays into the narrative that he's building. Like, everybody was getting paid. But that again, that's why me and Jaron and Dizzy, like me, I'm cool with everybody except for Hop. But it's stuff like that. I mean, it's clear as day. I'm showing you the spreadsheet. Like I'm showing you where the money's going. Everybody's getting paid.
So it's just as simple as breaking the numbers down individually to somebody who probably don't understand the numbers.
Right. But
that makes sense.
Yeah, but that's all that was happening, and everybody else seems to understand that.
You rocking on the pretense that people are you just trying to get it done. Like you're not taking the time to be like, okay, this is for this, this is for this. You just like let me knock this budget out. This is what it is, and then here's what your cut is. Basically,
it's not the way you're explaining is kind of like a shortcut. But it didn't even cross my mind that I should break it down. Like I wasn't trying to make a shortcut. No, I wasn't trying to take a shortcut. That was just the way I broke it down on my spreadsheet, and when it looked, and me and Hopsin have the same business manager. We can have the conversation right in front of him, and it still doesn't register. Again, I don't know if it's because he doesn't want to understand or he doesn't understand, but everybody else understood, and that's why we're still cool. Like there was definitely no money problems, and
has there ever been a time where he has a valid argument as far as he didn't get his money or his cut? Or
no, man, every year. So we've had the same business manager for 5 or 6 years, probably 5 years. Every year, at the end of the year, we have an annual review on the financials. We go over it.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, every year we go over it. We go over it. Making sure I'm comfortable, making sure he's comfortable. If we got to change the percentages going forward, we make them in that meeting. After the meeting, the email sent out of what the summary was of the minutes from that meeting, making sure everybody's comfortable. I thought I was being, because to me, I don't know how every other label operates, but we were being super transparent, and any questions Hop asks, he can come to me, or he can go direct, because he's the owner, he can go directly to the business manager too. So after those meetings, and thankfully I kept all those emails, I protect myself, so I can't be, I'm not in trouble for anything like that, because everything's transparent. I've never even, for the past ever since we've had a business manager, I've never even gone into our account myself to pull out money. Anytime money was issued to me, the business manager would cut it, and he would probably send an email with Hopsin copied on it. So I ain't worried about money problems. Now, where Hopsin has an issue, he now feels like too much money was given to me, but it's based on agreements that we made.
Were these agreements in the meeting?
No, because I seen him in a interview saying that had he known what he knows now, he wouldn't even have cut the label 50-50. Like, because I own the label 50%, he owns it 50%. But Hopsin's also, but that doesn't mean I make the same as Hopsin, right? Because Hopsin's an artist, and he's signed to the label.
On top of it.
So he makes what an artist would make signed to the label, and then he also makes 50% of what the label makes.
Gotcha.
So that's all. I think that also confuses the fans too. It's like, so Hopsin has a lot more money than I do. Because he, again, I feel, and I didn't come from the music industry, so I don't know. But I did a lot of research in terms of comparing, deals and how things should be set up, and what we do. The way we've compensated artists is either more in favor for the artist or directly in line with what everybody else is doing. So I feel comfortable with how we've handled things and percentage splits and all that on the business end. So
gotcha. So what were you doing prior to this? I mean, we had conversations before. I mean, you didn't have any background in music. So when you and Hop linked up, what made you say, okay, let's get into this agreement together. Let's go on and start Funk Volume?
So right before I got laid off, I was a management consultant for Deloitte. Okay. So I went to business school from 2005, 2007. And when I came out, I was a management consultant for Deloitte Consulting in Chicago. Okay. And then a little after a year, so 2008, that's when the economy was kind of bad. I got caught up. I got cut in the first round of layoffs. I wasn't that happy at the job. I think they knew that. Gotcha. So I was in the first round.
You like, all right, peace. I'm out.
Cool. My severance.
I got the severance, and I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do anyway. So the timing was kind of perfect, and that's when I knew Hopsin. I knew because I had met him before, because him and my brother went to high school together, so I knew they were friends. But then my brother would hit me and was like, "Dame, I'm going to UC Irvine right now. I'm not that really passionate about any of these majors. I think I want to drop out and do music." So, and then he was like, oh, I also got this friend, Hopsin, who was in a different situation. He was signed to Ruthless at the time.
Right.
And he was like, he got the idea for a label. So I met up, the three of us, and we just talked about the vision for the label. And it was like, okay, I'll take care of the business stuff. You guys handle the creative. Let's make it happen.
Damn, okay. So knowing what you know now, man, given the whole circumstance, would you enter in this all over again?
Would you do it all over again?
When you had the same conversation with your
Your
brother?
No, it's like
it's a two-part question. One, would you enter into music? Would you do the music industry thing again? And because I know automatically your brother called you, you're gonna do whatever you can do for your family. So if he's interested in music, you're gonna do that, obviously. But would you knowing now what's going on and everything that's taking place and the hardships and all the bullshit that you had to go through, would you enter in this agreement again? Would there be a funk volume?
Probably not. But it's like, I don't know if I can use this. I don't know if anybody's gonna be able to understand this analogy. But it's like pledging. I'm an alpha.
Okay.
I pledged when I was in college. Like, and I look back at that experience, and I'm like, I'm proud that I pledged, and you know, I love my brothers and everything. But if I look back at that experience, like, would I do that again? Hell no, I wouldn't do some of that stuff. I don't know what I was thinking.
Right.
But in the time, you don't really know.
You're just in emotion.
Yeah, you're just doing it. You just know what's in front of you, know what needs to be done that day, and then 5 years later, you look back and you're like, man, I did all that.
Right.
So knowing it, knowing what we had to do, like driving around the country with these cats, and I think we talked about it before we were on air, just playing multiple roles, and dealing with stressful situations, and me and my brothers, our brother relationship got stressed. It was a lot of work. I got a hat on. I'm thinning up top. I'm
on some
lost a
LeBron
lot of
shit
hair.
right now.
You know what I'm saying?
Son ain't got no roof.
So it's been a stressful, but I'm proud of what we did though.
Yeah.
Like, just the positive impact that Funk Volume had on people. People got it tattooed on them. Like, it meant a lot to people, and I saw the power of music.
Do you think, going forward, right? Say everything is behind you at this point. Is there any? Because I asked Hop this too. Is there any chance that y'all would ever do business again?
Probably not, man. Because
I'm saying from your side.
Not if he gave you a call and was like, "Yo, man, hey,
My bad.
If he
I fucked up."
I fucked up.
What if he was like, he hit you up like, "Hey, you know what? All this shit was some bullshit. Let's start this motherfucker back over. You ready? Let's do it."
Fresh, right?
Nah, if he called me again and apologized, like, we could still be cool, but I don't know if I would ever work with him like that again. Like, but I love Hop. I looked out for Hop, and not just in, financially in the beginning, because I funded most of the stuff in the beginning. It's not just about the financial.
Yeah.
When Hop was sick, like, my mom would be there for him, at the hospital and stuff like. So it's deeper than that. But would I get into a business relationship with him? There's just a lot of stuff he don't understand, and again, I don't know if he just refuses to understand it or it just doesn't click. I don't know. It'd be tough, given everything that's happened and his video but I know he would never come to me. Like, knowing who Hopsin is, that would be like next level maturity for Hop to come back
and enlightenment would have to.
Yeah, it would be like, damn, Dame did say a lot of things that was positive, and he helped me out a lot. Like, he didn't deserve that. Like,
one thing that Dizzy talked about too, and he kind of surprised us and said that even you guys had this house together, this counseling session where you tried to get them all together.
You guys went to a resort,
to a retreat. You know what I'm saying? A Funk Volume retreat, man. What was that about? Nah, but obviously, that kind of brings it back to one of my questions. Like, there must have been some things internally that
we need to work on.
So at that, what was your mind frame to kind of set that up?
Because those cats didn't work together, and it was mind boggling. Like, I heard the interview, and Dizzy was right. Like, he probably was in the studio 2 times with Hopsin in 4 years.
That's crazy.
That's wild.
And he's he's your artist.
Yeah.
Like,
That's crazy.
so I'm trying to understand, and we do weekly calls too.
Okay, quick question before you continue. Did you guys make a collective decision to sign Dizzy?
It was me leading the charge, but
Okay.
Hopsin eventually came around.
Okay, you can finish. I just wanted to know, just
No,
to
but he
play
didn't-
devil's advocate,
No.
if he wasn't behind the decision at first.
He eventually came around and he understood Dizzy's talent, but at first, Hopsin,
He didn't like Dizzy
Nah, he didn't really like.
That's what Dizzy spoke
because
of.
Dizzy
too.
said that
He didn't really like the music. And at that time, like, Hopsin was going through like this real like Christian phase.
Yeah,
and like
okay.
his fans were getting on his head for signing somebody that promotes weed and stuff like that. And then there was even this time where he had another. I met all kind of different cats working with Hop. Like, there was this cat that like, who was Hopsin's friend that taped a conversation of theirs and put it on YouTube. You can actually YouTube it and search for it.
But he taped the conversation that him and Hop had?
Yeah, because he was trying to expose Hop. Because
Wow.
Hopsin was talking about like not really agreeing with the drug references and stuff like that. So Hop was dealing with a lot during that time. So he didn't really rock with Dizzy like that in the beginning, but over time I think he understood the talent and he understood why I wanted to, because I wanted Funk Volume to be that label where no matter if you say you like hip hop, by the time we got 10 artists, there's got to be somebody on this
you
label
like.
that you
Yeah.
rock
Yeah,
with,
yeah.
because that cross promotion is powerful. And I think even if you don't like Dizzy in the beginning, as you get little taste of him through Hop's
Yeah.
platform or Jaren's platform, you gonna learn that he talented. And you might maybe you'll never rock with him, but I think some
Certain
people
things you
need to
can
be hit
appreciate, yeah.
over the head 5 times before they recognize that
Yeah.
they are a fan or they can be a fan of that artist. So, but the house, but yeah, that was just an attempt to try to get these cats to work. And it was something, because we had weekly calls too. Every Tuesday I get on the phone with everybody and discuss what's going on.
It sounded like you was doing a lot, bro, that I know a lot of independent, majors don't even really do that kind of stuff.
Because I knew the powers in the collective. Everybody can go off and be successful and do their own thing,
Right.
but if they came together and really did something like, because even so 2012 2013 we started off the year with something that I started, and I think that's why I failed. It was like Funk Volume 2012 was a song with Jaren wasn't with us at the time, but Dizzy, Hopsin, and my brother. And then 2013 Jaren was on board, so all 4 of them. And I had planned to start every year with a song that had everybody on it. But by 2014 it fell apart because cats just. But it was weird to me because when people got together, like, people was cool.
Yeah, we saw the documentary too.
Yeah.
And that lifestyle behind it, that's what
That was crazy.
I was like, yo, that's dope. Like, these dudes seem like they're really brothers.
tight.
You know what I'm saying? And to hear you explain it, to hear the
He's
Dizzle
like, I don't
say
know
it.
where the fuck that came from.
I don't know why they didn't work. Like,
Yeah.
to me, because as a fan of music, like, I wanted to see, like, I would come to the table with ideas because I thought it would be dope if they all got on a song and like just dissed each other, like in a playful, because they all had like one big video of their own, and the idea was, okay, why don't you guys like go at each other? And because Hops at that time it was Hopsin's Illmind 5, like, and if Dizzy was dissing Hopsin in Illmind 5, we could have recreated that setting and had like 4 parts to the song. Anyway, long story short,
Right.
I tried to just pitch ideas,
Just something.
you know,
was
but
throwing spaghetti on the wall.
I don't give a fuck what y'all
Let's
do
just
together.
work.
Do something.
Go to the beach. Like, I don't give a fuck.
that's exactly what it ended up being. But I thought, but Hop even fought like because the retreat, I wanted to just make sure it was just us, and really getting down to whatever the issue is and planning. Matter of fact, in my car right now, I still have like the sheet, the big
tasks
sheet of
of
like
shit y'all was
of
gonna do.
what we plan to do the next year.
Gotcha.
Right? It's in my
Business
car.
you did.
I don't keep it in my car for any other reason that I just don't clean out my trunk. But
Exactly.
it's still there.
People look into it like, man, he's still holding on. Man. He's still
No,
holding on.
it's I just haven't cleaned out my
Yeah.
trunk. But every time I do open my trunk, I just shake my head like, yo.
One day he gonna ball that motherfucker. Get that shit out of here.
Because like I said, the power of the collective is way more powerful than any one artist, and they could have done some amazing things because they're all so dope.
Yeah.
Like, all of them are so dope in their own in their different ways. If they could have found a way to display that together and really support each other, You know, things would have. I feel things would have moved along a lot faster, and it just would have been dope for the culture. Like,
No, I got a question. Go ahead.
For you to be so passionate about Funk Volume, why not continue the legacy? Why not keep Funk Volume going without Hop?
Well, because they always saw it as kind of like Hop's thing, right? Even though I drove a lot of it and a lot of the messaging, you know, but I'm not an artist, so I'm not on like the front line. Like we might hit you like when you look under Funk Volume, be like, oh, Dame's the one that really did that. Oh, Dame did that, but I'm not making the music. So Dizzy didn't want to continue to wave the flag of something that somebody else kind of started. Even though, like, I'm the one that...
Rightfully so, but at the same time, that's how Death Row was. You know what I'm saying? With Suge and Dre dipped, and then they continued. I mean, it didn't last too long, but they were still able to be successful without Dre being there. But I understand his position on it. It's like, dude, this isn't my flag to wave. You know what I mean?
The better question is, why didn't Hop continue it?
Right.
Like... He didn't have to start Undercover Prodigy.
So let me ask you this: with this split going on, was there was chances for him to say, okay, you know what, you get paid out, and let me go on and continue Funk Volume, the name, the legacy, and everything?
He could have done that. I would have opted for that. Even before then, I went to Jaren and Dizzy, and I was like, yo, you know, I called him. I was like, Funk Volume was meant to be bigger than any one person, including myself. If I stepped away, would you guys continue to rock? And when I talked to Jaren just had a lot of questions. I think eventually it would have taken some convincing, but he would have rocked. But when I said that to Dizzy was like, nah, I'm out. So it didn't really seem like an option. But Hop could have kept Funk Volume. I'd much rather he have it than nobody. You know, now we're dissolving the label and nobody's waving the flag, and it's like all the past 7 years.
That's one thing that confused me. I thought it was, okay, I'm not letting go. So fuck it, we're just gonna dissolve this shit.
No.
Yeah, because he did say he wanted you to leave. It was him or either.
Yeah. No, that's what he said. And I was in the beginning. I'm like, leave? Why? Like, it's not even that. We don't even have that big of issues. Like, what are you talking about?
So you thought?
Yeah.
So you saying this shit is equivalent to a bad breakup?
Yeah.
Like you know how with a girl, like when women come to you and they be like, what? Like they be like, I just don't feel like you paying attention to me. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I see your ass every day.
I see you every fucking day with them tired ass fucking hairdos.
Oh, damn.
You know what I'm saying? Like, is that what it's like? I'm just saying so people could relate, like myself, because I know what that situation. I don't know what it's like to dissolve a label. I know what it's like to dissolve a relationship over nothing.
It's very. There's a lot of similarities.
Right.
I didn't think it was that bad, but then when I realized it was that bad, that's when I went to Darren and Dizzy, and I was like, look, here's another option. I'll step aside.
Like, I don't want to do this, but if it's going to continue the legacy, I'll step away.
I'd rather see what I helped build continue under some other leadership than
I'm sorry.
Then it just go away.
All right, so you say all right to Jaren, you say, look, if we want to continue, if you guys want to continue without me, would you be down for it? They have questions. Dizzy says no. If Hop doesn't rock with Dizzy like that, why wouldn't he just say, okay, well, fuck it then?
No idea. Like I don't know.
Because at that point, I guess that's the question that I have. It now kind of breaking it down to the common denominator. We all know it was more or less Hop's decision to say, fuck it, let's just keep this thing split.
Wow.
But if he already doesn't, assuming that he doesn't rock with Dizzy, and Dizzy's saying, well, I'm out with Dame, and he has issues, quote unquote, issues with you. Why? That's kind of like, okay, well, damn, the two pieces of the puzzle that I don't fuck with are gone. Let me continue Funk Volumes. I guess that was a better question for Hopsin. God damn it.
Yeah.
Well, see, here's the thing.
If you go back, he announced that hella fat. Like, Undercover Prodigy was supposed to be like just a label, just like a clothing line. So that's how he already had the name and just kind of the idea for it. You know, maybe it never crossed his mind. Maybe he was just so excited about starting something new and creating this energy that he didn't even think like, damn, I could ask Dame and just take Funk Volume and keep it moving.
Let me tell you what it sounded like to me. What it sound like what I just said about the breakup, but it also sound like how when you in a relationship and you get mad, you like, all right, fuck it. and you just like you totally don't think about y'all lease agreement together. Y'all got joint accounts. You know what I'm saying? The kids, none of that shit. It's kind of like, all right, well, fuck it, I'm gonna go start some other shit somewhere else.
He didn't think about nothing, and
that's what I'm saying. That's what it sounds like.
is.
Based on, I'm glad we talking to you because when we were doing the interview, you said that I was like, man, this is some real shit he's saying, but this is some realer shit what you saying,
right?
Because I can relate more to a rational way of thinking. So an irrational way of thinking is like, well, we're gonna just go ahead and blow this whole shit up right here, and I'm gonna go build some shit from scratch over here, as opposed to being like, well, this is still salvageable. You know what I'm saying? Let me run with this, and like you saying, I would have stepped away and I'd rather see that. Now I don't know if you lying or if that's some real shit. No, they'll look in your eyes, say that's some real shit. Like we built this for the last 7-8 years, so I would rather see this progress as opposed to me, and with me not being a part of it. Do you think that that's realistic for everybody else involved? Your brother, anybody?
He would have had to start by himself. Like my brother wouldn't have been a part of it.
It would have been him. And
maybe Jaren.
Maybe Jaren.
Maybe, but even then, I don't think, because
that's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm asking you. So how real? Even though you're saying that, how realistic is that option?
It's what he's doing now. He
just
didn't take the name.
It makes more sense with a new name though.
And what would you have been satisfied with? Like as far as would you want like a severance? Would you want? Still, you want back in? Like I'm just trying to paint a picture of how realistic with this.
It's probably going to get broken up the same way that it's getting broken up now.
Which is probably why he wouldn't want to do it then.
Well, you still going through it?
Because I'm saying from this side looking, it's like, okay, if I'm playing the woman, not necessarily him, but if I'm playing the woman in a relationship, I'm like, I don't want you to have shit. Fuck you. So I'm gonna go do some whole new shit.
And that's exactly what that is.
That's what I'm saying. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like really vindictive as opposed to being like, this is salvageable. Let me take the name.
Yeah,
he's a very vindictive person. Like I remember a conversation like early in the days where he was like, man, when we get popping, like I'm gonna pull up to the mall in a green Lamborghini and a lime green suit and just stun up. Like he has a lot of stuff just pent up from like way back in high school. Yeah. Like just what, and it's like, why? I remember that conversation vividly because I was just looking at him like,
bro, you still mad?
Like why? Why would you?
It's a lot of energy.
Why would you want to do that? Like. All of that anger inside, like he needs to sort that out because it ain't gonna do no good for him.
He needs a little counseling.
Yeah, I mean
that's what I was trying to get at. I think that's more digestible for people to understand that way. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to like,
no, I get it.
Not just saying like, okay, yeah, I'll be cool with the severance, but you still want what's rightfully yours. Right. So to him, it's like, man, fuck that. I don't want him to have shit that have nothing to do with me. Let me do my own thing.
Right. No. I mean, I get it, but it was very possible. You know, if instead of reacting right away, because literally after the last conversation we had, I would say 2 minutes went straight to social media. Like he didn't. There's no time involved. There's no. I'm gonna take this day to just kind of think, and it like literally right after we got off the phone, 2 minutes, my phone starts making all kind of noises, and mentions and stuff.
That's
I'm like,
crazy.
Let's go back to that second conversation. You called him lazy to say you don't work hard enough. You knowing how mad it made him. Now the second conversation that pretty much ended everything.
With everybody
looking back now, do you think that was a wise decision to say it one more time?
No. I mean, I feel like we could have preserved, but I was unhappy too, though. Okay. Like I couldn't keep working with a cat that's going like not show up to things, not stick to your commitments and stuff like that. So.
It still had to be addressed.
Yeah, it definitely had to be addressed. Would I have said it again? Probably not. Okay. No, well, I know I wouldn't have said it again. Right. You know, but my ego got involved that second conversation because we were having this conversation was like an hour, and it happened at the end. And he was like, because I was cool with everything that he wanted to do, right? Everything he wanted to do, manager. Change the colors, whatever. Like all that stuff was minor. I was cool with it.
I'm sorry, minor.
But then he said that he wanted to change like his percentage of like the royalties that come back to the label. His percentage split from the album, and that's when I was like, okay, I need to understand what you think those are going to be because we have costs. Like, and I got to make sure that we're able to pay people and cover those costs. And then he says something like, well, if you know that my albums help pay for people, then you shouldn't be telling people they don't work hard. And then my knee-jerk reaction as a man and my ego, that's when I was cool, and then my ego got involved because he was telling me like what I need to do, and I was like, well, you don't.
Yeah.
Like, and then that's when that was the end.
See this shit? Click. Now we're
A few more cuss words involved.
a few more cuss words, just a few.
See this motherfucker shit.
Where were you, or did you know about the Illmind video?
I knew. I mean,
Did somebody shoot you a kite? Like, hey, this is
No. I didn't know the content of the. I kind of figured, because it's like this, man. Whatever somebody does to somebody else, they can eventually do it to you, right? So I know how Hop operates. I knew
something,
and I seen a response on one of his pages, and one of his fans was like, "You should drop a diss video," and he replied and said, "You know what it is, son," or something like that. So I knew something was coming, but I didn't know
to the extent.
I didn't see anything, or
so you found out when we found out.
I found out when you guys found out.
What did you think about the video?
It just a combination of emotions, man. It's sad. You know, I kind of feel sad for him. Embarrassing, mad.
When you were watching it, like, where were you? Like, were you sitting on the toilet? Were you on the couch? Like,
I was just in the crib, just watching it. I'm always on my computer, so I was just watching on my computer.
How did you get the notification?
Just shaking my head. How'd
you get the notification? Did you see
I
it
knew
on
it was
social media?
because somebody hit me because the song came out before the video.
Yeah.
And I didn't have like Apple Music or whatever. Somebody was playing me the song over the phone.
Oh shit.
And I was just like shaking my head, and then I saw the visual, and I was like, you know, Hop does visuals like that is
his thing.
It was a very good visual.
The fucking shit is dope.
The shit is dope.
This shit is dope.
I mean, he does that well. That's one of his gifts. That was one of the things. Again, that's why the label was 50-50, right? Like, he thinks the label, looking back at it, it shouldn't have been 50-50, but in actuality, I think it should be more in my favor. But we made it. I was comfortable making it 50-50 because he had those talents, and I thought that he was gonna help other artists with their visuals too, right? And other artists with production.
That's about him.
Yeah. But he never used those talents for any. It's not like he came to Jaren and was like, "Hey, Jaren, let's do this video," or "Hey, Dizzy, let's do this video," or "Hey, Dizzy, let me produce a song for you." Like, everybody kind of did their own thing. But Hop is talented.
So when did you stop being his manager? Or
I never. It was at the end.
Okay.
He told me that he wanted a new manager like end of November. So I never really. I stopped being his manager kind of when Funk Volume.
When it all ended.
And after the video, after you watch it, I'm pretty sure like people it's going crazy on social. I was posting about it, that shit, because I'm like, this shit is dope. Like, content aside, the shit is dope. Right. So after the video, after you watch it or whatever, like, what's the first phone call or text or email you send? Like, what is that? Is it just more like people are hitting you about it? Because I know like your phone had been going retarded.
Oh yeah. No, I was getting hit up like crazy. I think I just shot it to my brother. I didn't really send it nowhere. But
no, not to send the video. I'm saying, did you hit Hopsin up? Did you hit anybody one of his people?
I know Hop won't answer his phone. Hop blocked my number a long time ago.
Right.
Like, I know he wasn't.
You know what you should have did, dog. You should have got Dizzy to call him, and then just like, hey, nigga, I'm on the phone too, man. Hey, been trying to tell you, man. I wasn't trying to say you was lazy, but goddamn, we need to talk about this shit.
Yeah. So where does your brother how does your brother feel about this whole situation? Because that was his homie, but that's your brother. So
I mean,
of course he riding with you. It's
not really my place to say, but their relationship has been strained for a long time, and they don't. A lot of the fans don't understand that.
Will he get a chance to speak out and give his side of the story, or is he kind of like falling back and not wanting?
No, he's actually started releasing music like the past 4 weeks. Like, but he's doing it at his own pace, and he's not like Dame. Get Hip Hop DX and like he's just doing his own thing, getting comfortable. Because he's been out for a minute, and Funk Volume had grown tremendously. So when the difference between when Swizz was putting out music on that platform that he had there to now putting out music, you'd be competing in a whole different arena. It's like going straight to the league almost.
Yeah.
So he kind of wants to do
He's
his own thing. But I hope I think eventually he'll talk about it. But their relationship, like Hop, and that's why. Like Hop hasn't always had a lot of friends, That's why
I can see that.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So you don't really understand like respect and loyalty and how you just how you supposed to interact with brothers, So I just thought if I surrounded him with enough good people, he'll start to understand.
Like not everybody's fucked up.
Like how we rock,
Regular human beings.
Yeah, for the most part, but because I don't think he's ever. I mean, he's had a lot of people pick on him, a lot of people bully him,
and then you get into the music industry and have some shit go down, like with Ruthless and things like that. So I mean, I can understand his psyche, but at the same time, you have Funk Volume started in 2008. You said,
yeah, 7+ years.
This is 7+ years in. How much track record do you need to say, okay? Aside from that, I know I have my own issues, but these motherfuckers really rock for me. Let me, step up to the plate and do this thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, all I'm telling you, all this stuff could have been sorted out. That's I know Hop's family, I know his mom, I know his brothers.
Now, do you reach out to them at this point?
They reached out to me and they thanked me for, I got a message from his mom on Facebook thanking me for everything that I've done. His brother hit me up and like, look, I don't know exactly what's going on.
They must know. They know.
They know that I'm
they
not that cat.
Nigga.
Like I'm not, I'm not a money hungry cat. I'm not gonna steal from you. That's just not my. That's just not me. And the people that really know me, they know that's not me. So that's ultimately why I'm not too concerned. But again, it was embarrassing because I got like business school professors hitting me up.
I'm trending
I'm trending on LinkedIn. It's like I have a lot of friends that aren't in music that don't understand this wild world, and they don't know
anarchy.
Yeah. So if they know the dame that like worked for Goldman Sachs and worked for Wells Fargo and worked for Deloitte, and it's like now you getting blasted on social media, and it's like so. It's definitely embarrassing.
That's crazy.
I can't deny that.
Do you think, as far as like after Funk Volume, do you think that there's something that is there anything left? Like, okay, what I'm asking is, let's go there. What's your fondest memory of the Funk Volume itself? The last 7-8 years. What is your fondest memory of whatever that time period is?
I don't know if it's ever just one memory.
Is it the ups? Is it the plateau? Is it the struggle? Was it you driving across the country? Was it?
I think it's always because at first it was just an online presence. And then when I put together that first tour for them, the Raw tour after Hop dropped his Raw album, and like we went out and like we just hit the road. We just all got in the van and we just drove. And then seeing people in person, I know that was just like eye-opening for me because we knew it was real, and then cats have Funk Volume tattoos. Like I don't have any tattoos. Hop don't have no tattoos. My brother still doesn't have any tattoos. Like, but we saw people with Funk Volume tattoos. That's crazy. Like it's Dizzy has enough tattoos for us all. But this was even before Dizzy, so that was like, man, like music is powerful. You guys have a voice and a platform, and you guys have to honor that, respect it, and I don't think there's that many artists that are using it in the right way, but I saw how powerful it was. And these are young cats that have so much power and influence.
They're impressionable, man.
So I think just seeing it in person, when we were just trying so hard online to try to create a presence, and just going to like Poughkeepsie, New York, and having people respond the way they did, they love Funk Volume. Funk Volume meant something. It was bigger than just music.
Yeah. Now, still moving, man. Let's talk about that. How are you moving forward with this, and how's it going to be different than Funk Volume? I mean, the lessons that you learned from this situation, how are you going to apply that to still moving?
There's definitely business lessons that I've learned in the way that I'll structure things a little differently, and I'll make sure that everything is documented. Me and
look A and B,
right?
All right, 2 + 2 is 4. All right.
Sometimes
those are even numbers. All right.
Sometimes it has to be that, but because I come from a different place, so like what's obvious to me, I can't make the assumption that it's obvious to you, right? So I'm mindful of that, and going forward, I just make sure that everything is super transparent. But a lot of it is the same, man. Like a lot of, Funk Volume, again, the vision was to just have dope artists that represented every subgenre of hip-hop and create new ones. And if you say you like hip-hop, then there's somebody on Funk Volume that you like, because these cats really respect the craft. They're good at what they do. They've spent years honing their craft. And I think that's what we want to see in Still Moving. I want to see that, but I do want to see that they all can work together. I want that to come to fruition. I mean, not that you have to work with each other,
but you can.
But
Yeah.
you should recognize that you benefit individually by working together too. So
the numbers.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna force you to work with somebody, but you should understand like why we're trying to create this, and you should want to, because I think it makes, like, Dizzy might be one type of artist, and Hopsin might be another type of artist, two sides of the spectrum. But a lot of time, that's how some of the best music is made.
Yeah.
That's how some of the best artists made, is stuff that you just didn't think would work.
Yeah.
And it works beautifully.
Exactly. This is hella random, but I'm thinking like when Bone Thugs and Biggie did that song.
That's
Two
that's
different
Notorious
classic
Thugs.
Notorious
song,
Thugs.
yeah.
That
shit
shit
is
rocked my
hard.
fucking world.
Yeah,
Totally,
I mean, I think because they're creative. They're
Yeah.
creative people, and I think when people work together, you just don't know what happens.
Now what's Dizzy's role in it? Because when he came here, he mentioned Still Moving being the label. So is he an artist under Still Moving, or does he like have a little more
Or you
more of a
guys
role or
partners?
partnership? How does that work?
See, that's why we haven't figured that all out
Okay.
yet,
Okay.
because there'll probably be I'm having meetings with people to kind of figure out how we're gonna set things up.
Okay.
But Dizzy will definitely be an owner in the label.
Dope.
How many owners will there be? What percentage? Like all that stuff needs to be sorted out. But he'll definitely be more than just an artist.
Gotcha.
Now, do you think that artists make good executives? Because I don't.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know the music industry enough and have enough examples to say it's a totally different role. And I think that a lot of times artists get into it because it seems fun and it sounds fun and
It sounds cool.
It sounds cool. You get the boss up, as they say. You know what I'm saying? But no, I don't have enough data points to know. I mean, I guess Jay-Z did it well, or does.
Well,
it
I mean, there's more people who do it badly than do it well.
probably.
Yeah.
I mean, I would actually,
In my opinion.
yeah, and you probably have more experience dealing with those people and have seen it. So, if I had to guess, I would imagine, because it's different. It's like, as an artist, you're creative. It's a little unstructured. It's different. Like on the business end of things, you got to be structured. You kind of have to get into the numbers, and it's just different. And I've never seen an artist that can kind of like balance both of those worlds. It's rare.
I think we said this all off air. Like, an artist should worry about being an artist.
Being an
You know what I'm
artist,
saying?
right.
Just like
Oh, yeah.
you don't worry about being all in the videos and
Right.
getting cameos. Like,
Yeah, how many
you're not an
cameos
artist.
have you had?
You're not an artist.
In videos. Total.
I think I was in
Total.
Dizzy's World Peace video,
That's it? One video? In 8 years, you've been in one music video.
and I think I was in Jaren's video, one of Jaren's videos.
So 2 videos?
Yeah.
That's damn
I don't
good.
want to be. I don't even.
No, I'm saying that's damn good.
Yeah,
It just drives
that's
the point
not-
home.
I mean, I do have ideas for videos, like Dizzy's false reality video. Like, I wrote that treatment.
But it doesn't center around you being in it.
Yeah, I don't really want to be in
Yeah.
it. Like, I'm
You like behind the scenes.
Yeah, I'm too. I'm not too old, but that my prime is past. Like, I don't have a desire to be on camera like
Right.
that. So I'm cool.
Now we talked about it off air. I mean, you said it on air as well. We know the fans out there. Those are the biggest piece of the component right here. Like, a lot of people have been commenting on a lot of the videos that we've done, the last couple of interviews, knowing that you can't really combat everything, but what's one thing that you would want to talk to the fans, the ones that have all the negative things to say about you? What do you feel like the biggest misconception is throughout this whole thing about yourself, and what would you say to those fans, to those people that comment?
You know what? It wouldn't even be about me. Like, if I could just talk to the young people and just be like, look, there's a lot of stuff on the internet. You know, the issues that I had growing up was trying to kind of get access to information. Like, it was harder. Like, we go into the library, we pick the book, we have to open up the book. Now the problem is you have too much information, and you have to sift through all this bullshit to figure out what's real. You know, people are photoshopping images. You know, they're making memes, and our attention span, it digests all that as truth, and you make up your mind. So I would just, it's not even, it happened to me, like, you know, because you see this video, you look up to Hopsin, so you think everything you're hearing and seeing is the truth, but it's beyond me. You're receiving a lot of information that way, and when you think that way, a lot of your actions represent that, so it leads to actions as well. So I would just, you know, try to encourage young people to slow down and learn how to take in information. I actually think it should be a high school class. Like, social media should be a high school class, not how to use it, but how to receive it. You know, it's crucial to me, and I thought this before the Ill Mind video, but I definitely think it now, because it's like, man, you don't even know me. You got one cat making a video to kind of entertain. Like, I don't even know what Hopsin thinks is true in that video, but you
remember that Jamie Foxx? They said, you know, he's talking about LL. He's like, this is acting. You know, acting.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, because in there are just some blatant lies, right? Like, he says, I'm the accountant. I'm not an accountant. Got you. We've had a business managers who are certified CPAs or certified public accountants for the past 5 or 6 years. Like, I'm not. Yes, I'm a label. Yes, I'm a label owner and I'm a manager. But I've never, maybe in the first few years where there wasn't much to account for. Like, you know, I did our bookkeeping. But that was my money going out. Like, there was nothing coming in. It was me using my savings to try to fund what we were doing. Ever since we had real money coming in, we've had actual accountants. So, but people just receive that video, and because Hopsin has such a platform, it's the truth. But anyway, that was a long-winded answer to just like, it wouldn't even be about me. It'd be like, look, man, you guys need to understand that everything that you're receiving is not necessarily the truth. You guys have so much information. It's so hard to get to the truth these days. Like, if you want to do it took me like an hour to figure out what type of pots and pans I should buy, because they're like, oh, you should use copper. Oh, you should use ceramic. Oh, you should use aluminum.
I'm going through that right now.
And I'm like, yo, can somebody tell me what pots and pans aren't going to kill me with all these damn chemicals? But that's it happens that we're losing time because there's too much information. You know, I almost would rather go back to that. I had to go get the book. I mean, those books were probably fucked up too, but I don't know what the solution is. Everybody just needs to slow down and understand that everything isn't what it is.
Do you still have a passion for this? I mean, I know before you talked about, you know, the music wasn't your path. Like, it is your path, but that wasn't what you set out to do. So you didn't necessarily have a passion for the music like that. With everything said and done, with Still Moving, do you have a passion to continue to grow this label and move forward?
I mean, to be honest, it definitely took a hit, and it's something that I'm continuing to wrestle with. But what I am passionate about is that connection to young people, and because Dizzy genuinely agrees with a lot of the stuff that I was doing through Funk Volume, like the Funk Volume in the community and the Funk Volume, feel like he has ideas to kind of help those initiatives. I'm excited about that. I mean, I love music too. You know, not too excited about the music business, you know, and I rock with Dizzy, and hopefully my brother comes and plugs into the program too, because obviously I love my brother, but you know, I think Dizzy's special, and if I am gonna do this again, I'm glad that Dizzy's still rocking with me. Because if it was somebody else, maybe I would have a little less energy for it.
Now, where's Jaren at in this whole situation?
Jaren, I don't know what Jaren's doing. Me and Jaren talk all the time. You know, when
I see you tweet something, you say, I see my ugly homies just drop some new music. I'm like, so it just shows the camaraderie and brotherhood that you guys have with each other. Still.
Nah, and he is a little funny looking. But nah, me and Jaren talk all the time. He calls me and asks me like questions like, "Damn, how much should I sell this merch for?" Like these questions. Like at the time, he was like, man, because me and him are about the same age. And he was like, I'm getting older. I should know how to do some of this stuff. I don't think he realized what he was getting into. But you know, he's doing his own thing. I feel like once Still Moving gets up and running and everything's popping again, you know, the door will always be open for Jaren. I think he'll come back, but, you know, if he doesn't, I told him, I was like, look, whether you want to hit me up just for advice or you want to come back to the squad or anything in between, like, you know, I always pick up the phone for Jaren.
A quick question now. This is just a DJ head question. In the past, like, how long has this divorce been going on? I call it a divorce because...
So pretty much this whole year so far.
Okay, so the whole year, right?
Yeah.
Since let's say since January. Let's say the top of 2016 to now. How many times, or have you at all, lost your shit? Like, not because I really commend how you've dealt with this publicly. Like, you've never, there's no outbursts of you online.
Right.
There's no rants. There's no video. You, like, in your car, in your drawers at the house, you know, whatever it was, have you, like, just completely lost your shit? Or how many times have you lost?
I haven't, man. That's not really my personality. If I do lose it, it'll be, like, internal. Like, I don't really...
Even by yourself?
I've never really like yelled or anything. Maybe
a lot of profanity, you know, any kind of, you put extra packet in your noodles.
No, I think.
What are you talking about?
I think. No, but because I think like for this situation, like because it's just sad, like.
So it's more like a sorrow feeling than it is.
There's anger, but it's like it's like, damn, we were so close.
Right.
Like we were so close, and we were doing something that very few people have accomplished. You know, that's why I give credit to anybody that's ever started a label and made $1. Mm-hmm. Like, because I see how difficult it is to try to get cats to work and to, you know, for the communication to get on point.
You need a machine for real. Yeah. Like, it needs to be this person works, this person. Everybody plays their role.
Yeah, but I mean, so I have never really just like blown up.
That's dope that you still look at it like that though. You're still looking at it like, man, we was right there. Yeah, like,
but we were though. We were, and Warner understood that too. Like, and you know, I wasn't happy 100% with the Warner situation, but I recognized the seeds that were being planted.
Yeah.
And the fellas didn't recognize the seeds because we live at a time where everything happens so fast, right? You post something, you get likes, you get comments. And a lot of the things Warner was doing was like planting the seeds with radio. So maybe that first time around, and again, I can't say that I was 100% happy with Warner. But I saw it happen. Like I saw what they were doing. I saw it happening. So even though the first time they released their projects, it didn't go ideal. It wasn't an ideal situation. I know that when the seeds planted, the next time if Hop would release a second album, he would have got more opportunities, and Dizzy would have got more opportunities. We just weren't able to hang on that long.
All right,
I'm really glad we got to talk.
No,
to you.
absolutely. My thing is this, dude, and I said it at the top.
I didn't want to talk to you.
Yeah,
I was like, what? I was asking him, like,
we gonna talk
man,
about?
What else are we gonna talk about?
It's always good to hear everybody's side of the story.
No, I get the side of the story, but I'm like, we've already like this story's been beating. I mean, we never got your side of the story.
That's what's important.
So that to me was like, okay, let's see what he's talking about. Now that we've had this conversation, I'm glad we had it.
Yeah.
You didn't have to respond. I felt like it was important that you responded in the beginning. After that, it was all clear cut and dry. Maybe people had questions after that, so I feel like this is good that you get a chance to address this. One last thing, though. After we leave here, I want to make sure it's clear that there's nothing off the table. If there's anything that you feel like you want people to know at this point about, you already said you don't want to say about yourself, but about the situation at hand.
Right.
Because I don't want to see the tweets after this like, hey man, we got most of the stuff, but there was one more thing that I want to hold out on. You know what I'm saying?
No, I think we covered most of it. There's not really, you know. I know what I've learned from this. I know how I'm gonna grow and change the way the way I communicate. You know, there are definitely some weaknesses in my leadership style and things I'll need to address going forward. But I don't, you know. I think what I've shared today, people are going to hear it. You know, a lot of people are such Hopsin fans and be like, oh, man, he bullshit, he lying. And that's cool. Mm-hmm. You know, again, I'm not trying to change everybody's mind, but I think it was healthy for me to come because I've never had a conversation in depth like this, you know, and actually have people ask thoughtful questions, you know, because the other interviews that were happening, it was like, man, if you just, like, for example, I don't mean to go back into the interview, but like Hopsin did an interview and he like said how much people were making on the tour.
Yeah.
Right? And I was like, man, if these people would just do the math, you'd realize there's no problem here. Because he was like, and I don't like talking about how much people make, but since Hopsin already said it, he was like, Jaron made 40, Dizzy made 60, and he said, at the time, he said he made 80. That's a lie. He made like 120. But let's just cut it in the middle, right? Let's just say 100.
Is this him as an artist or him as an artist plus?
For a tour, for the tour.
Okay,
for the tour.
Gotcha. As an act.
So 40, 60, 100, right? So 40 plus 60 is 100.
Oh, yeah.
Plus the other 100, 200. Put my 50 on top.
250.
What's 20% of 250?
You got me on math, bro. I don't fuck with that. Say it again.
$50,000. If people would just just listen to what the information he's giving you.
Yeah.
That's him. He's giving it to you.
Right.
There's no we should have never had this problem.
No money
We should have
issues,
never had this
yeah.
problem. And it's crazy too because like I told him this because they went on tour. They did an Australia tour in December, right? So they still had to go to Australia. And like I thought, since we were having these issues, I'm like, Hop's probably gonna say I don't get nothing because we're having issues. And I was like, I'm cool. I'm gonna eat that else, whatever, you know. But then he sent the email telling me what I should make, and he applied a percentage to it. And I responded, I was like, Hop, you know, if you applied this percentage to the Funk Volume Tour, it would have came out to the same percentage I got. We would have never had these problems in the first place.
What was the response?
None.
Damn.
So you shut him down with logic. That's how I am.
Yeah, I mean, and I know that me telling him he didn't work that hard, like really, that's not logical. You know, that hits the ego and the whole nine. But if you really look at what happened, there was no problems. Like, just use the simple math. Like, and I could show you these in emails. Like, I'm not gonna put them on Instagram or whatever to show y'all. But like, it's all documented. So why he did all this, you know, there definitely. It was a longer conversation that we should have had, and we should have had it a long time ago as these things were happening.
So 2 questions. The next time you see Hop, what's it going to be? You see him in a room, because this is a small industry. I mean, we're going to frequent each other at the next time you see Hopsin.
Is it going to be a handshake?
Is it going to be something? Exactly. It's going to be a handshake.
I don't know. It's on him. Like I said, like I'll accept apology from anybody that's done me wrong. You know, if he wants to talk, like I'll always be available to talk.
That's
you know, I ain't got no problem. Like I ain't gonna just swing on him.
Right.
You know, I mean that thought did cross my mind. Like,
so he
like
did kind of lose his shit internally, right?
Because it's like, yo, like he just took this to level.
Yeah, it was
2000.
Yeah,
like, it just, like, but nah, if I seen him, you know, I'll say what's up. But
how would you say what's up though? What's up?
What's up? But we did so much like. When you tour with people in little cars, and you know what I'm saying?
It's beyond,
Like we did so much for it to end like this, so I wouldn't, you know. Again, I all the mixed emotions that I had, I think the biggest one is just sadness. Like, damn, like it should ended like this.
Yeah.
Like, for me, it was all this stuff could have just been talked out.
3 conversations. That's crazy.
You know, I feel I have very legitimate reasons for telling him he didn't work that hard. I could point to, and matter of fact, I said that in an email. I was like, Hop, don't you want to talk? And I can tell you why I feel this way. And his response was, I don't need to hear what you have to say. You said enough. Like we couldn't even.
He's very emotional. Temperamental, it seems.
Oh, that's an understatement.
But that's why I said what I said earlier.
Damn. So okay, let me ask this last thing, man. What's up? Where's all the Funk Volume merch at this point?
That's another thing that if you thinking of like, and if you tripping about, I mean, don't get me wrong, like tens of $1,000s. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. But we have about $80,000 of merch that's just stacked up. Like if this room, like just if we stacked it to the ceiling, we'd have more than that. We probably need 3 of these rooms and stack all the way to the ceiling.
Really?
So, I mean,
well, you can donate to the Homegrown Radio. We would love to sell the merchandise on the website.
Get it all for you
at Homegrown Radio.
So we will, but again, it's like we could have done this in a way that was more financially beneficial to
For everybody.
For everybody.
Yeah.
You just destroyed so much value, and you over here. I mean, the argument was about $50,000.
Right.
Let's talk about what you just destroyed. Like,
yeah.
you know, the merchandise alone, the brand. Like, nobody's using the brand.
Yeah.
Like, nobody's ever gonna sell outside of the merchandise that will probably sell at a super steep discount now. Like, nobody's ever gonna use that brand again.
Yeah.
Like, just think. Like, if you got a problem, anytime you got a problem, man, just don't react right away.
Yeah.
You know, just try to take a day or two or even an hour. You know, talk to some people that in your corner. You know,
make level-headed decisions,
Yeah.
because y'all could have easily liquidated the merchandise and then
announce,
blow it up.
Announced it.
You know, I feel you.
I mean,
that would have been the lot. That's what I would have did.
I mean, we
Hey.
have videos that never came out. We were working on a second documentary.
Damn. So what's
yeah.
up with those videos? Where's those?
I mean, he not gonna put them out. I know he just kind of moves on.
Gotcha.
You know,
Is he
documentary.
still moving? Okay, I'm done. I'm done.
So let me ask you a
That
question.
was
I mean,
it.
just from thinking from a fan's perspective, what happens to the music that was recorded as Funk Volume, as far as Dizzy, Jaren, Hopsin, whatever it is? How does that work?
So I mean, we're 50-50 owners, so we own the music. That's part of
Is
what.
it the music that was
Are
recorded
you
or
still gonna put it out?
distributed? Like say Dizzy.
I mean, there's not much that was recorded that wasn't put out.
Got you. Okay. All right.
Well, no,
So y'all don't have
time.
like hard drives of music somewhere.
Extra music, nah.
Okay,
Nah. That's every artist is different, but I'm always a little envious of the artists that say like,
We got
you know,
catalogs.
I had 100 records to choose from
Yeah.
for this EP. I'm like, we ain't never had that problem. Like,
We got this 15.
We
We
use
gonna make
everything.
do.
right. I mean, one or two might not make, but we just didn't have. We weren't sitting around the table like listening to 30 songs, picking 10.
Y'all
or
use the
12.
pig feet, the chitlins, the ribs,
Yeah.
everything.
So, but the music that went out, I mean, Hop owns 50%. That's part of what needs to be
Worked out.
settled, and that's
Gotcha.
when I hear the fans like Hopsin will say something like, "Dame won't let me have my music," but the fans don't understand this business, right? They don't understand, you know, how this works. Like they think I'm like physically holding
it
like,
back from you.
Hopsin
Yeah.
hostage from releasing music. Like Dizzy released, like even in some of the interviews that Hopsin said, he was like, you know, I wasn't gonna release this video, but this whole process was taking so long. I kept getting more mad and more mad and more mad. I'm like, well, Dizzy released songs, no problem. Like you could have released any song you wanted.
wanted
Like
to,
I wasn't.
right,
Nobody
right.
was stopping you from releasing music.
Like you got records in your house and a rifle, and you just stopping people from coming and getting
yeah,
it.
no, I mean, but the music that did come out on the Funk Volume, I mean, I invested a lot of money. I invested a lot of my time. Like I should own half that. I paid for it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that again, that's what needs to be sorted out. You know, and that'll get sorted out.
We wish you nothing but the best, man. I appreciate
For
you coming
real.
on down and talking with us, man. Because like I said, you didn't have to do this, and you know, you made good on your word when you hit me up when Hopsin shit dropped. You said at the right time, and I felt like this is definitely the right time. So definitely wish you nothing but the best, bro.
I'm glad we had this
Yeah,
It
conversation.
was
Absolutely,
much
man.
needed.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
No
And I
problem.
appreciate the way you guys conduct your interviews. Keep some integrity on some of these blogs and
Keep it going,
you know radio shows because we're losing it.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
you know it's just more headlines and gossip. So I appreciate what you guys do on your platform.
Thank
Absolutely,
you.
man.
We appreciate
You
it.
can catch us at Homegrown Radio, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.com/.
Homegrown Radio Net.
Check out time, y'all.